Hello everyone, very good morning and welcome back once again to Study IQ IS English, and my name is Praveen Mishra. We're going to start today's session, right? That is the Hindu analysis, date being 12th of April 2025. So the first headline, the first news in front of us, it's about the economy once again. It's about the industrial growth. How much on positive side we are. So the news tells us that the industrial output growth is on a high low since last 6 months of the data when we collect, right? So it's low up to 2.9% by the month of February, okay, as collected as compared to the last 6 months, right? The same data of last year's February, that is 2024's February, it was telling that industrial output growth is as good as nearly 6.7%, something approx. But in just 1 year of the time, that is February 2025, the industrial output growth, the IIP report is telling us that we are down to 2.9%, one of the least ever recorded data when it comes to the industrial growth potential of India, right? Before proceeding, I would just like to add here that India is a nation with utmost amount of resources, from natural resources to manpower, from skilled labor to others as well. But the fact here is the usage and the implementation of the policies, and apart from that, the people to people action and coordination is always something which is in question, because of which the proper smooth functioning of the economy as well as the growth and development of the nation as a whole, including the other parameters, they are affected. So this report is here. So the whole report, okay, we need not go through whole of the report, but yes, the biggest thing that we need to discuss here is that is about the industrial input. Okay, how do I go ahead with the name IIP? Okay, so what is the actual concept of the industrial production or the index of industrial production? So how do I define it? So IIP, literally, it is an indicator basically that measures the changes in the volume of production of industrial products during a given period. Okay, volume of what? Volume of production. Production of what? Industrial products. Okay, like industrial products, what are they? Obviously, the mic we are using, the board we are having, the camera we are having, okay, the lights we are using, these are all industrial products, right? Not exactly the furniture, but yes, the electronics, appliances, the heavy machineries, right? Mobile phones, all the things that are basically connected to the communication sector, okay, they are all what? They are all industrial goods, industrial products. So how much production is happening, and how much production is happening conditioning or just going ahead with all the proper protocols, following all the provisions of the policies and the programs. So how it is going on, how much good production environment of India is, right? And how much healthy it is as well, comparing to the sustainable development goals promises as well, right? So these are all the parameters that the index of industrial production, that is the IIP, goes ahead with. Okay, and apart from that, yes, it provides us what? Provides us about the production of the industrial products in a specific time. Okay, that is during a given period. Then further, it is compiled and published monthly. Guys, the next thing that we need to mark here, okay, when we talk about the IIP, okay, so IIPs, they are compiled and given when? They are published on a monthly basis. By whom? By NSO, that is National Statistical Office. Works under which ministry? Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So guys, the next big thing that we need to mark out, okay, what's that? The IIP. Firstly, it is the monthly report, the very first thing. Okay, and second thing, from which department? It comes from the Department of National Statistical Office, or simply speaking, which ministry? So ministry, it will be the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, right? So make it clear in your notes in case you are making. What's that? National Statistical Office provides the IIP on monthly basis. And working under which ministry? So it is once again Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. right? And what is IIP basically? So IIP, once again, it's a kind of an indicator, not kind of one, actually it's an indicator, okay, that measures the changes. Changes in what? Changes in the volume of production. And production of what? Production of the industrial products during a given period, basically monthly, right? This is what the basic terms are, right? So this is IIP, and what the IIP report has stated, that things are not going good when it comes to the industrial growth of the country. The output has reduced, and output has reduced that directly represents the reduction or the deviation, or simply speaking, the depreciation into the input segments as well, right? Okay. So yeah, good morning guys. Namaskar, सत श्री अकाल, आदाब, okay, स्वागत है आप सभी लोगों का, you guys are all welcome, right? So this is what IIP Industrial Index, okay, Index of Industrial Production. Then the next big things with regard to IIP itself. So it is a composite indicator that measures the growth rate of an industry, okay, with some classified groups, okay, with some classified groups, basically two groups. So what are these groups? How is the classification done? Okay, so firstly it is the broad sectors. Broad sectors as in the mining, manufacturing and electricity. The other one is the use-based sector. Okay, use-based sectors as in basic goods, capital goods and intermediate goods. Okay, so what are IIPs categorized as, or how many groups are there into the IIP? So there are two groups. Okay, the first group's name is the broad sector, the other one is the use-based sector. Broad sectors as in, yeah, the ones which are providing us the raw materials as well, like for example mining. Okay, then apart from that, that are providing us the finished goods as well, that is what? Manufacturing. Other one is, yes, obviously the electricity, that is the power supply. Second group is what? Second group is use-based sector. Use-based sector as in the goods that are user-friendly, that are used by an individual day-to-day in his or her day-to-day life. Okay, so that is what? Basic goods, or even we have got the capital goods. Okay, capital goods, what is the term capital goods? How do I define this? Okay, capital goods, basically my assets. Okay, so in simple layman terms we can understand, capital goods, they are sort of those goods which are inducted into my assets. You can also consider them the real estate ones, right? And apart from that, yes, we have got the intermediate goods. Okay, goods basically that are used to produce any second good. Okay, so that is what? Intermediate goods, right? So what are the basic groups we have got? We have got the two groups here. What are these two groups? First one is the broad sectors, other one is the use-based sectors. Okay, right? And apart from that, the last thing, the base year, like how am I calculating, like percentage, like 2.9% low we are here right now. Okay, so there would be a comparison, right? There would be a point of comparison, an event, a particular year, right? So for that we have got the base year, that is the financial year of 2011-12. So IIP's base year. IIP's base year, so far it is not yet updated. If it is updated in the future, then we will change this. But as of now, okay, what is the base year for IIP? The base year for IIP, it is only and only 2011-12 financial cycle. Okay, so the features that we have discussed: Index of Industrial Production. Okay, given by National Statistical Office working under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It is a monthly report, okay, and apart from that, there are two broad categories, okay, that is the broad sectors and use-based sectors, and apart from that, yes, the very next thing, the base year. What is the base year? 2011-12 financial cycle. That is what basically the base year is, okay. So, moving to the next thing. Karnataka cabinet, simply speaking, Karnataka government, okay, has finally accepted caste census report. And yes, discussions will be there tabled at the very next cabinet meeting. Okay, so what's the news? Karnataka cabinet finally accepts caste census report and discussion to be held at next meeting. See, there are people, we the people of India, right? We have got multiple opinions. You might be having an opinion that is motivated by maybe Bharatiya Janata Party or maybe the All India Congress or the DMK, AIDMK. You could be having your opinion through the Trinamool Congress, TDP, okay, or whatsoever. Right? There are n number of political parties. You could be someone from Samajwadi, you could be someone from Bhim Sena, you could be someone from the Bahujan Samajwadi Party, or you could be someone from Aam Aadmi Party, right? Doesn't matter. Someone as in having the ideology, someone as in not the part of the party, someone as in having the same ideology, right? But that hardly matters when it comes to your UPSC CSE, right? Civil Services Examination. What is your political ideology that you should keep outside the examination hall? You should not enter the examination hall, neither your mains nor your interview with your political ideology, right? Stay neutral. So here, when we read about the syllabus or go ahead with the studying and teaching of CSE, we also have to be very, neutral. Whatever my political ideologies they are outside this classroom. Okay, but it should be, never be represented here inside the classroom, and it's applicable for you as well. That whatever your political ideology is, keep it aside while you are just an aspirant. Okay, so coming to the point here. With regard to the caste census, the socio-economic caste census, there have been n number of discussions. There have been people, those who have supported the caste census, and there have been people as well, the other segment of the society is here as well, that is not supporting caste census, right? Like for example, the biggest tussle is right now going on between two biggest parties of the country, that is BJP and the Congress. Congress is adamant to have the caste census, whereas BJP, okay, on the parallel side, is somewhere totally reluctant that no, we are not going to have any such kind of the caste census, right? So, though the initial stages of our country with regard to the previous governments, what we have, they have also not provided much of the concentration or any sort of focus towards the segment of caste census. But yes, presently right now, since last couple of years, this caste census demand has increased a lot. Right, okay. Now increased a lot with regard to the establishment of the welfare state or the service of the masses, or it's just a political mileage. Once again, that's a matter of debate. So let's just not go to those dimensions again. Right. But here, what is the news? The news is that Karnataka government, the state of Karnataka, the cabinet there, okay, it has accepted the caste census report, okay, that has been performed inside the state of Karnataka, right? Now, the concern here for us with regard to our UPSC CSE, what is actually the caste census? How am I, and as an individual, going to justify the term caste census? Okay, the socioeconomic caste census. So we have got some data here, that is here, okay. So SECC, that is the socioeconomic caste census, was first conducted in the year, okay, it was 1931. Okay, SECC for the first time came into the picture when 1931, which aimed to collect information on the economic status of the Indian families, both in the rural as well as urban areas, to identify indicators of deprivation. Okay, so for the first time it was conducted in the year 1931. In rural India only or the urban India only? So it was the rural as well as the urban location both. Okay, what was the objective? The basic objective was to identify indicators of deprivation. That what are the problem the people are facing at the ground level. Okay, further, it also collects data on specific caste names. That is why it is termed as what? Caste census. Okay, so it also collects data on specific caste names to evaluate the economic conditions of the different caste groups. Okay, so basically what the national commissions they do, when we talk about National Commission for Scheduled Caste under Article 338, when we talk about National Commission for Scheduled Tribes under Article 338 capital A, we talk about National Commission for Backward Classes under Article 338 capital B, or the other Backward Classes Commission under Article 340 or 342 capital A, right? Or the Special Officer for Linguistic Minorities we have got, okay? So when we talk, that is Article 350 capital B, right? Special Officer for Linguistic Minorities. So when we talk about these special commissions, what they are doing, they are targeting a particular community, targeting as in not target like, okay, targeting as in identifying their issues. Okay, their aim, their motive, or basically once again their vision is to identify the issues being faced by scheduled caste, tribes, backward classes, linguistic minorities, etc. Okay, so in that very same way, caste census also performs. So it targets some specific castes, okay, which are considered as the most backward castes or backwards or whatsoever, deprived or subjugated or suppressed, and then go on with proper identification of the issues. Okay, what are the exact grievances and how to justify and how to rectify or how to redress those grievances as well. This SECC provides us. Right, so it is basically focusing where it is basically focusing on the specific caste names to evaluate the economic conditions of the different caste groups. Different caste groups, they have got different economic conditions, different grievances as well. And obviously when my grievances are different, so the approach to rectify them or to approach to redress them, okay, also should be different. So this is where the caste census, socioeconomic caste census comes into being. Okay, for the first time it was conducted in which year? It was conducted in the year 1931. Okay, now how the SECC, that is socioeconomic caste census, is different from the census, general census. Okay, so what are the areas of differences, right? So when we talk about the areas of differences, census provides a general portrait of the Indian population. Okay, it will just provide a general portrayal of the Indian population. Okay, whereas SECC is used to identify beneficiaries of state support. State support as in those who are actually those who need the support of the state badly. And here the state doesn't means that Pradesh or unit of a country. Okay, state here means that one which is mentioned under Article 12. Okay, here the state is referring to the areas that are mentioned under Article 12 or yes under Article 36 as well. Okay, so that particular caste which needs the support of the state. It is what the caste census is all about. Okay, so simply census portrays the whole of the nation, okay, population and their issues, whereas caste census represents some specific communities, those who are the beneficiaries of the state. Okay, next, census data is confidential under the Census Act of 1948. Okay, so census data is never made public. It is an official data and a secretive data as well, and it has been covered under the Census Act of 1948. But on the opposite side, okay, personal information in SECC is open for use by government departments to grant, restrict benefits, etc., etc. Okay, so this is what the caste census and census, they are differentiated. Okay, so caste census is an open data. Okay, the government and other machineries can use it or utilize it whatsoever, whereas okay, the census is not a public data, it's a private data of the government. Okay, and the umbrella to cover this data is the Census Act of 1948. So these are basically the differences between the census and the caste census, that is basically socio-economic caste census, SECC. Okay, so here we go to the next news, to the next headline. Another question mark on our integrity, another question mark on our unity, another black spot or the dark spot on the harmony of the country, right? The J&K Imams, they read out joint resolution against the new Waqf law in the mosques. And on the opposite side, we have got another news from West Bengal. Protests, they have erupted over the whole state of West Bengal against the Waqf Act, right? See, we are not going to discuss here once again how much Waqf Act is right or wrong. No, we are not, right? You might be having an opinion. You might be having an opinion where you say that Waqf Act, the new Waqf Amendment Act is right. And contrary, you might be having an opinion that no, it's not right. It's, violating my fundamental right to equality, right against discrimination, right to religion under Article 25 and 26. Okay, it's violating my right to life and personal liberty under Article 21, etc., etc., right? But one thing that we often forget, one thing, that we have got a united and integrated judiciary, or I must rephrase it, united, integrated, and independent judiciary that is free from any sort of legislative or executive interference. It is absolutely a different wing, right? And Indian judiciary, yes, there have been multiple issues we have been facing throughout the ages of judiciary, but still, even after all of those issues, even after all of those loopholes that we often watch, Indian judiciary still remains one of the most strong and independent judiciaries of this globe, right? So, considering the Indian judiciary, specifically from the High Courts and to the Supreme Court, all of these actions of justifying an act, whether to go ahead with it or to nullify it, declare it as unconstitutional, okay, whether it is violating any of the principles of the Constitution, specifically fundamental rights or not, it is absolutely the work, the role, the duty, the responsibility of our judiciary. And let judiciary decide whether the act passed by the parliament or any state legislature or an ordinance or an order or a law issued by the president, governors, the gazetted government officers, that is basically how the law is defined under Article 13 of the Indian Constitution, right? So let judiciary be the only authority, right? If it is violating any of the provisions of the Constitution, from fundamental rights to DPSPs to duties to interstate relations, whatsoever, right, towards the federal structure of our country, unity and integrity, sovereignty of the nation, anywhere, if it is violating any of the principles, then judiciary will take the cognizant action and will just ask the government either to, rectify the particular provision or even nullify it. So, why do we protest? Just because I have got the right to protest, guaranteed under Article 19, in those 6 fundamental freedoms, when it is mentioned that you have the right to assemble peacefully. Yes, obviously without arms, the reasonable exceptions, reasonable restrictions, they are already mentioned there, right? So the fact is, yeah, that's right. I have got the right to protest, that is right to assemble peacefully without arms. But that doesn't mean always that I will go onto the streets and I'll disturb the local business, I'll disturb the local traffic, and so on. Because it is also now a question mark on my integrity. And this is also a question mark that how much belief I have over my democratic organs, right? So if something is done that is not always meant, to be protested, and though here I'm not giving any sort of judgment, not here giving any sort of, opinions. It's just what the things that they do come in front of us in our essay paper and ethics paper, and we need to write all of these things, right? Okay, the questions, they do come from these parameters only. And it's important to have a discussion over this so that we can have some clear insights over the issues, so that it can help me, you, every one of us to gain those good amount of marks in our examination that will ultimately lead to my success, right? So here we have somewhere in Kashmir, somewhere in Bengal, somewhere in Maharashtra, somewhere in UP, in Delhi, throughout the whole of our country, right? From northeast to southwest to everywhere, okay? We have got multiple incidences now that people are protesting against the Waqf. I believe protest is fine, okay. But before protest, we must wait for the judiciary's nod. Whether judiciary is going through a judicial review over the Waqf Act. For the point being, yes, judiciary is going through the overview or the review through the Waqf Act. That is, the judicial review process is going on. And let's wait for the judiciary's judgment. In case judiciary, denies it, or in case it might happen, the judiciary goes okay with it as well. Just like abrogation of Article 370 and the imposition of NRC and CAA. People protested a lot. The common man got troubled. The life and property of the common man only, got disturbed and destroyed. It was not any of the leaders, those who were there inside the protest and those who were either imprisoned because of the protest or any charges they were framed over them, or neither of them they lost their life and property. It was the common masses only. And here once again, none of the leaders are there. They are just, coming, holding a mic and then blabbering whatsoever they want. And they're going back, right? Who is at the trouble? Who is at the stage of trouble? It's the common masses once again. So what is Waqf Act? What is the Waqf Amendment Act? That is, firstly, we need to understand. And secondly, we need to show some trust on the Indian judicial system, right? Judicial review is one of the core principles of our constitution and our democratic moralities as well. And let's wait over it, right? Okay. So please spread this message to whosoever is protesting or demanding, okay, that this is right or that is wrong, etc., etc. So let them know that we have got independent, integrated, strong judicial system in India, and they will take the proper actions whenever, wherever required. Okay. So moving to the next news, the next headline for the day, it's time for Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav in Hindi we call it as Gaurav. In English we call it as pride. So it's time for Gaurav. Basically, it's time for pride, right? Around 1000 kgs of this missile, which can cover up to the range of 100 kilometers, targeting, at the pinpoint location. It is what? The Gaurav glider bombs that has been tested by our most fantastic organization, that is DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, right? So they have given us what? They have given us another Gaurav, another moment of pride, and this time the name itself is Gaurav, right? Okay. So what we have the news here, as we can see, the Defense Research and Development Organization successfully concluded or conducted the release trials of the 1000 kg long-range glide bomb Gaurav. Okay, it was tested just last 2 days, okay, through the Sukhoi Su-30 Mk-1 fighter jet. And during the trials, the weapon was integrated to multiple stations in different warhead configurations with land target on island. The trials successfully demonstrated the range, okay, close to 100 kilometers with pinpoint accuracy, right? So another kid into the family of the defense machinery of our country, that is what? Gaurav. Okay, remember, it's a glider bomb. Glider bomb as in, if you can see, here are the wings. It glides. It doesn't just falls. Okay, it glides through this way. As because it is having some wings, so it is able to, means obviously, okay, we haven't provided the warlord as Red Bull here that will give you wings, but this wings, they are actual wings, okay, that can glide through, and apart from that, target, because of this gliding capability or the gliding ability, the Gaurav can provide a very accurate, this bombardment, very accurate, that is pinpoint. Okay, as because it is termed as why? Glider. Okay, so it is having the wings. So remember, it is not a bomb that will just drop and will explode. No, it is what? It can glide through. And because of this gliding ability or the capability, it can target, okay, the pinpoint location. So pinpoint accuracy. Right, everyone? So this is what? Please make it clear. Gaurav. Okay, 100 kilometers. Okay, weighing up to 1000 kgs. Next. Indian EVMs, they are not connected to internet or Wi-Fi or anything, has stated the Election Commission after US officials' comment, right? So what is the comment actually, what is the whole scene? You can see here, against the backdrop of the claims by the US Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, okay, who stated that Indian EVMs, they can't be trusted. Indian EVMs, they are, something that are easily hacked as they are connected to the Wi-Fi's or some other internet modules, right? So easy hacking could be done of the EVMs. This is what Tulsi Gabbard has stated, right? Do you think it's right? Well, to this, Election Commission has came forward to answer that, dear Tulsi, okay, You are absolutely wrong. The Indian EVMs, they are never connected to any internet module, from Wi-Fi to broadband or whatsoever. Okay, they are absolutely offline. They are digital but offline. They are nowhere connected. Okay, and they are absolutely free from hacking. Right? Okay. Concept clear, crystal clear. Okay, thank you, dear. Nice. Okay. So, Indian EVMs, this is what the judge, the very clear, crystal clear statement has came from whom? From the Election Commission of India. And they have certified that EVMs, they are never connected to any internet. So, the people living, okay, on the opposite side of the world, that too into the West, and that too whose EVMs have already been into much number of questions, that is of United States of America, they are now giving judgment that the Indian EVMs, they're not trustworthy as they are connected to the internet and can be easily hacked. Dear Tulsi Gabbard, because your name is Tulsi, you do not belong to India. And you have got absolutely freedom, right? And absolute freedom to spill the poison or the venom against India, as you are there into the US State Department, right? And you are holding a position. What is the position? Director of National Intelligence. So, dear Director of National Intelligence, look out for your country's intelligence first, how your EVMs are good enough, okay? If in case there are EVMs, though you are going ahead with the ballot box only, but those ballot boxes also, there have been n number of news from your media only, which has told us that yes, there have been manipulation or fabrication inside the ballot boxes, right? And here you are providing us the knowledge on our EVMs. So, for which the Election Commission of India has stated, dear Tulsi, okay, it's not connected to any internet. And now this brings us to the discussion of EVMs. So, it's a device basically to record votes electronically, right? They were first used in the year 1982 in the Paravur Assembly elections of Kerala, right? And since 1982, the Election Commission, they have tried to promote the usage of EV. And by 1998, majority of the state elections, they were happening through the EVs, and being, having these sort of motivation. By the year 2004, the Election Commission took a historic decision to use only EVMs for the Lok Sabha elections, right? So, in the year 1982, Paravur Assembly of Kerala, State Assembly of Kerala, okay, was having the elections, there were the pollings going on, and these pollings or elections were taking place with the help of the EVMs only, right? Okay. Now, by the next 2 decades, as you can see, by the year 1998, so since 1998, Election Commission has increasingly used EVMs instead of ballot boxes. And in 2003, by the year 2003, all the state elections and by-elections, they were done through the EVMs only. So, by the year 2004, taking the motivation, okay, Election Commission stated that, yes, state legislative assembly elections are being conducted with the EVMs, and now the Lok Sabha elections will be also conducted with the help of the EVMs only. So, from 1982 to 2004, and roughly you can say 22 years of the gap was there, okay, for Election Commission to optimize, utilize, go ahead with all sort of analysis, pros and cons of implementing EVMs into the Lok Sabha elections. And finally, in the year 2004, when the Lok Sabha elections were going on, it was happening with the EVMs only, right? Okay, thanks for the compliment, guys. Thank you so much. Right, so I hope everything is clear. Yeah, crystal clear. Fantastic. Right. So, encouraged by this what? By the 2003 year, okay, where all state elections and by-elections were held by EVM, okay. So, by the year 2004, Election Commission said that state election as well as the general elections of Lok Sabha, they will be conducted with the help of EVMs only, right? And now, the next thing that has come to us through the state of Nagaland, okay, it is what? If EVMs, they are through the state of Kerala, then the next one that is known as VVPAT Okay, it is through the state of Nagaland. Okay, so when we talk about VVPAT here, first of all, so Voter Variable Paper Audit Trail, VVPAT. Okay, what is that? Voter Variable Paper Audit Trail. What it is an independent system attached with the EVM that allows the voters to verify their votes are casted, okay, as they have intended. Okay, so basically, whenever you go to any store, a shop, or whatsoever, okay, you buy anything, XYZ. Let's say, for example, you went to a store, a shop to buy a pair of shoes. And there, when you bought the shoes, when you made the payment, so in return, along with the shoes, you get the bill, the receipt as well, right? That yes, you have purchased this item, costed this much, taxes this much, okay, payment mode, etc., and total amount is here. So that receipt, basically we call it as what? The bill you receive. So in that very same sense, whenever you go to cast your vote to the polling station, right? So whenever you cast your vote, once you have, pressed the button, immediately towards the right or left hand side of the EVM, you will find a window, a glass window, okay? And immediately you have casted your vote. Through that glass window, a receipt or a bill type of thing will be popped up that you cannot touch. It will be not digital, it will be physical in nature only. That will be printed on a piece of paper, okay, but you cannot touch it. It will be just besides a glass window. And through that glass window, you can see that yes, you have casted your vote to this party, to this person, okay. Proper verification will be done through that piece of paper. Though yes, you will not be able to touch it, but yes, you will be able to see it through that glass window, right? And it will be there popped up for 7 seconds. So in 7 seconds, they are more than enough time to verify your vote. So what are the things that will be mentioned in that receipt, or simply we call it as VVPAT, that is Voter Variable Paper Audit Trail. The name of the candidate, the party of the candidate, and your vote has been casted as well. These are the things will be mentioned in that paper audit trail. Basically just like a receipt. Okay, so what we have got? VVPAT. Okay, so VVPAT was first introduced in the by-elections of the Noxon. Okay, Noxon Assembly Constituency, and where it is? It's in the state, the wonderful state, the beautiful state, the state with wonderful culture, local tribes and everything, okay, that is Nagaland. In which year? 2013. So if Paravur State Assembly is to EVMs, the Noxon State Assembly is to VVPAT. Paravur State Assembly, EVM 1982, okay, Noxon State Assembly, okay, Noxon Assembly Constituency, that is Nagaland 2013, VVPAT, right? So remember guys, it is there just for 7 seconds. You cannot touch it, you cannot take it home as well, nothing. It's just there for 7 seconds only. Okay, you can see through that window, okay, you can verify it, and then you can relax yourself that yes, I have casted my vote and the vote has gone to the correct person as well. No hacking thing is also here, and then you can move on. Right? So this is what? The Voter Variable Paper Audit Trail. And now talking about the EVMs. Which organization is entitled or empowered to create EVMs? So yes, there is Election Commission, obviously. The technical expert teams, okay, that is this technical expert committee of the Election Commission is there. But along with the Election Commission, two most wonderful and powerful organizations of this plan, of this country, they are also inducted in making or construction of the EVMs. So the first one is a PSU that works under the Ministry of Defense, what we call it as Bharat Electronics Limited. Okay, established where? In the city of Bangalore or Bengaluru basically, right? So it is Election Commission. Election Commission's department known as TEC as in Technical Experts Committee, along with a PSU. What is the name of the PSU? Bharat Electronics Limited, okay, established in Bengaluru, working under which ministry? Ministry of Defense. And the other one, that is Electronics Corporation of India Limited, that is established in Hyderabad. Okay, and this works under what? This works under the Department of Atomic Energy, right? Department of what? Department of Atomic Energy and Ministry of Defense. So defense and atomic energy in, okay, partnership with TEC, that is Technical Experts Committee of Election Commission. They do make EVMs. So the three most powerful organizations of this country, okay, Election Commission, that is TEC, Technical Experts Committee, Ministry of Defense, that is Bharat Electronics Limited, and apart from that, yes, we have got the Electronics Corporation of India, that is under the Department of Atomic Energy. The previous one in Bengaluru and this one in Hyderabad, right? So these are the organizations to whom you can rely on, trust on, and as these are one of the most transparent, honest organizations of our country. Okay, so they do create EVMs, right? Okay, so apart from EVM, this is the VVPAT, and remember guys, there was a case known as the Subramanyam Swami case of 2013. So I will just mention it here, you can write it down. Okay, so what is the name of the case? Subramanyam Swami case, Subramanyam Swami versus Election Commission of India case 2013. Okay, through which Supreme Court mandated that VVPAT should be mandatory in each and every elections that are happening with the EVMs. Okay, what is the name? Subramanyam Swami case. Okay, if it is not visible, I'll write with other color. Okay, what is the name? Once again, Subramanyam Swami versus Election Commission of India. Okay, in short, Subramanyam Swami case 2013. In this case, Supreme Court mandated that VVPATs should be there in each and every elections, okay, happening at whatsoever level, okay. VVPAT, that is voter variable paper audit trail, should be there, okay. Noted guys, all of you, all clear? So here we go with the next topic, the next news. China imposes 125% tariff on US goods. ये World War III करा कर ही मानेंगे. These are the guys, those who want World War III at any cost. Okay, any cost. They want it. लड़ो यार, पैर के खत्म करो. जीवन में दुख इतना ऑलरेडी है. हाँ, ऑलरेडी इतना स्ट्रेस हो रखा है. क्या करेंगे दुनिया रख के? उड़ा के खत्म ही करते. Right? So already there are too much of issues and number of stress, problems in this world. Why to have this world? Let's bomb it out. Bomb it with that green element known as nuclear. Ultimately, the world wants greenery only. So let's just do that now. And this is what China and America, they are trying to. Not trying to, they are clearly representing their intent. Let's have the war. 2nd April, what America has termed it as Liberation Day. Liberation Day. They imposed tariffs on multiple countries. And obviously, America was aware that these are the countries those who are going to retaliate with the counter tariffs. And obviously, America was aware that the biggest trouble is with regard to China, with biggest trade deficit. America is that country is China, right? So China retaliated with imposing 84% tariffs till yesterday, right? America imposed 125% tariffs till yesterday. China was imposing 84% tariffs till yesterday. But within 24 hours, Xi Jinping was like, no. You were having 125, 124%? Ah, nice, okay. Mine is 125%. Now tomorrow Donald Trump will come 130%. Then day after tomorrow, China will come 135%. Means like, are you guys sitting in a bidding? Are you going to have a bid? 125, 130, 135. What is this nonsense? And once again, couple of classes back, while these nonsense news popped up, okay, we discussed about the authority, the position, the legitimacy, the actions that are needed by an organization that is termed as World Trade Organization, that came into being through the Uruguay round, okay, 1988 to 1994. So 1995 officially, World Trade Organization came into being after updating the GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, whose parent organization was ITO, International Trade Organization, that never came into being, as America itself was never ready to ratify it. Then in the year, it was actually January 1 or December 1, if I'm not wrong, January or December 1, 1948, when the General Agreement on Trade and Tariff was signed. And it continued to be till 1995 until the Uruguay round provided the next big thing, that is the World Trade Organization, right? That provided the much better needed platform for the international trade, the global trade, right? And now this World Trade Organization was entitled with the powers to look after, okay, to basically look after the usage of tariffs, the legitimacy of the tariffs by the countries imposing tariffs on each other, okay, and there should be a proper gap, a proper capping, okay, proper bar should be there on the tariffs. So this is what the duty of WTO was. No, it is the duty of WTO. Where are you? Sleeping or a dead letter again? You are a sleeping beauty either or a dead letter again. Just like that ITO, right? Okay, so World Trade Organization, you need to act. These people will, disturb the economy of the whole globe. And the countries that are developing and underdeveloped, those who are already malnourished and, affected with absolute amount of poverty. So they will just starve to death because of the trouble that will happen into the supply chain demand of because of these such nonsense things of imposing tariffs. Impose tariffs, what will happen? Do you think countries will sit down and they will just watch, oh, Donald Trump, wah, nice tariff. Majja hi aa gaya, nahi? It's too fun, man. Idiot. Not like that. It doesn't happen like that. Okay. So Donald Trump needs to be active here. Okay. So China has imposed in counter what? 125% tariffs on US goods. Enjoy. 6.84 lakh families under the lens in Haryana giving false information to avail the BPL cards, that is the below poverty line cards, and enjoy the benefits of the Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Okay. So now it is the state of Haryana which has given notice to 6.84 lakh families that by 20th of April you justify your income proof and justify that how much valid for you it is to be conducted as a BPL, and even if you are a BPL, then how much are you entitled to take or to have the benefit through the Antyodaya Anna Yojana, right? See, the schemes that are made for the upliftment of the poor should be given to the poor only and to not those people, those who just want to misuse the government machineries, the programs and the policies and the schemes. Because of these people only, those who misuse them, okay? I don't know out of 6.84 lakh families, how many of them they are misusing it. Even if they are or not, we don't know. It's just the statement that has come from the government and the data is quite huge, 6.84 lakhs, right? Now this tells us that why in India the poverty alleviation programs, they are not performing at their level best. The reason is here, that the misuse of the schemes are happening, right? And the things that we need to discuss here, okay, it's about the PPP. No, this PPP, it's not the purchasing power parity. This time, it's not even the public-private partnership. This time, an initiative that was taken up by the Haryana government in the year 2015, that is termed as Parivar Pehchan Patra, right? So what is PPP here? Parivar Pehchan Patra. So as is stated, launched by Haryana government in the year 2015. What was the primary objective? Just to go ahead with the absolute identification of the beneficiaries, okay, to create authentic, verified and reliable data of all families in Haryana, okay. So PPP identifies each and every family in Haryana and keeps the basic data of the family, provided with the consent of the family in a digital format. Make it clear, guys. The PPP keeps the data of the families throughout the state of Haryana in which format? Physical? No, it's digital format only. Okay. So under the scheme, a unique identity card named as PPP Parivar Pehchan Patra is launched, through which the state government aims to monitor all families living across the state. And yes, under PPP, each family is considered a single unit. Even if you are having 2 members, 4 members, 40 members, 400 members in your family, unit will be 1. Okay. So this is what PPP, Parivar Pehchan Patra, where Haryana. How to represent this news? Why do we have such news? I don't understand. Representation is not a concern for me right now. Concern for me and for all of us it should be. Why is this such news? On one side, we are representing Vishwamitra and Vishwaguru ourselves to the world as like planet friend, universe friend, universe guru, universe mentor, universe teacher. And domestically, in my own place, in my own country, with my own people, discrimination is happening somewhere on the grounds of religion, somewhere on grounds of sex or gender, somewhere on the grounds of race, and now this time, caste. IIT Delhi, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, that had a record number of students suicide in the time period of 2018 to 23, for which a recent report has came out by the Ministry of Education. In that report, it was clearly mentioned that majority of the students, let's say out of 10, for example, if 10 students, they committed suicide, so 4 of them, they committed suicide because of the extreme academic pressure. 2 of them, they committed suicide due to their some personal or private reasons. But the other 4 of them as well, they committed suicide because of the ongoing caste-based discrimination inside IITs. IITs, an imperial institution, right? An institution with a very high image in the society, right? The students, they do study hard to crack this IIT examination. And what happens when they go inside the IITs? They are subject to discrimination. This is what the ministry's report has stated just some week back, I guess, a week back, right? And now another news. A Dalit youth stripped, beaten over inter-caste relationship. 6 people, they are held. They are, taken into the custody. Okay, 6 people are taken into custody, etc., etc. Proper trials will go on, charges will be imposed, etc., etc. But is it not disturbing the social fabric of my nation? Is it not destroying the image, the global image of my nation in front of the whole world? Dalit life matters. Yes, it does. It should matter, right? Whether I am from any community, my life matter. And why am I subject to discrimination? And why violence? Why? Who are you to decide whether I should be doing this or that, doing not this and not that? It's me only I can decide, or it could be only law that can decide my boundaries. I have got the Civil Rights Act or the Civil Liberties Act of 1955, which provides me protection against any sort of discrimination. I've got Article 14 that talks about equality before law. I've got Article 15 as well with me that tells right against discrimination on the grounds of religion, caste, sex, gender, place of birth, race, etc. I've got Article 17, abolition of untouchability, and so on. I have got Article 21 as well, right to life and personal liberty. So when Constitution itself is providing me with utmost amount of freedoms, then who are these people, those who are coming to me and asking me that which caste I come from, which community I come from, which religion I have, what race I have, what sexual orientation I do possess, why? Are these people entitled to do that? No, none of them. They are breaching the law, they are violating the principles of the Constitution, they are maligning the image of our country through onto the global stages. This is the news, right? This is the matter of fact. This is what the whole globe is watching. And welcome to India, Vishwa Guru and Vishwa Friend, Vishwa Mitra India, right? This is what we are facing, right? Welcome to Indian democracy. Okay, so Dalit lives matter. No, each and every lives matter. And these are the news violating Article 14, 15, 17, SC's Atrocities Act, Prevention of Atrocities Act, Civil Liberties Act of 1955, United Nations Human Rights Declaration, which came on 10th of December 1948. All of these things are getting violated. All of these things, right? So, do you have any option? Any particular redressal through it? Then please do let me know into the comment section. Not now, after the class. I'll be waiting for your comments over this. Okay, guys? Moving to the next news for us. If you are the resident of Mumbai, Amche Mumbai, right? So now, smile. As your state government, Fadnavis government has provided you now the Mumbai One card. And what is this Mumbai One card all about? Mumbai One card, that is a card basically that will allow you to commute, to have any transportation, that is the local Mumbai train, the local trains of our Mumbai, or the metro of Mumbai, or any local transportation bus of Mumbai. You can just take up that card known as Mumbai One card, and you can use it to travel to get the tickets. Okay, that will be a token only for you. Okay, when you are traveling inside the roadways, the buses, okay, or even the metro, or even the lifeline of our Mumbai, that is the local trains, right? So one card soon to access all public transportation in Mumbai. That is what the Chief Minister of Mumbai has stated. What is the name? Remember, guys, Mumbai One. So if there is a question with regard to the MCQs here, okay, current affairs, subject related to current affairs. Okay, so what is Mumbai One? What do you understand by the Mumbai One? So it's a one card access. One card access as in access to all the transportation, all the public transportation inside the Mumbai metropolitan region. Okay, so you go on to the Mumbai Metro, go into the Mumbai Metro, you can use that Mumbai One card to avail the ticket. If you go into the Mumbai local train, you can use that Mumbai One card to avail the ticket. And so is if you're going into the local buses, okay, transport buses, then also you can use that Mumbai One card to avail the ticket. Right, everyone? So Mumbai One, what's that? An all-access public transport card. Next one, Odisha launches Unified Health Coverage Scheme for 3.46 crore people. Not rupees 3.46 crore, people of Odisha, that is the present data tells us that there are 3.46 crore people inside the state of Odisha. So the state government, which has been under much of the criticism for not going ahead with the proper implementation of the Jan Arogya Yojana, has came forward with combining the national level Jan Arogya Yojana with the state level Gopabandhu Jan Arogya Yojana. So guys, remember, at the national level we have got the Jan Arogya Yojana, whereas at the state level in Odisha we have got the another name that is termed as Gopabandhu Jan Arogya Yojana, right? So it is now the state of Odisha, Gopabandhu Jan Arogya Yojana has now combined this national level scheme as well, that is termed as Jan Arogya Yojana. Okay, so for that, okay, Odisha government must be applauded. It's a very wonderful initiative they have taken. Okay, so the name, remember here, Gopabandhu Jan Arogya Yojana. It comes from where? It comes from the state of Odisha. And now this brings us to discussion of Jan Arogya Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. In short, we call it as PMJ. Okay, so it is also known with another popular name, that is Ayushman Bharat. Okay, so Ayushman Bharat is an attempt to move from sectoral and segmented approach of health services delivery to a comprehensive need-based health service healthcare service. Okay, from sectoral to what? Comprehensive need-based healthcare service. Okay, the scheme aims to undertake path-breaking interventions basically to holistically address the healthcare system. Holistically as in throughout the whole like parameters of the health services. Then yes, obviously it is having two different segments when it comes to Ayushman Bharat, okay, or the PMJ. It is having two segments. What are they? Health and wellness centers, okay, nearly 1.45 lakhs health and wellness welfare centers or the wellness centers, they have been opened throughout the territory of our country. And apart from that, we have got the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana as well. Okay, so under this Ayushman Bharat, two centers are there. One is the health and wellness centers and other one is the Jan Arogya Center as well. Okay, so what are the other features through this Ayushman Bharat? Here we have. So it is first thing, that is the thing that should be highlighted. It is the largest health insurance scheme in the whole world, not India or Asia only, throughout the whole world. The largest health insurance scheme is what? The Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Okay, providing rupees 5 lakh per family. And so far the beneficiaries are nearly 12 crore poor and vulnerable families, and in overall 55 crore people are right now covered under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. This makes it the world's largest health insurance or health assurance scheme. Okay, so this is where once again the very second news of the day, SECC, comes into the picture. So the households included are based on the deprivation and occupational criteria of the Socioeconomic Caste Census of 2011. Okay, so yes, presently we are just going ahead that we need not caste census, but the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is focusing on the 2011 SECC itself. Okay, so it has been made, that is PMJ, by assuming or subsuming, actually not assuming, sorry, subsuming some other policies. Like for example, it subsumed the then existing Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, which was launched in the year 2008. Right? So the coverage mentioned under the PMJ therefore also includes families that were covered through the Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana. Okay, so guys, make it clear. Before PMJ, that is Jan Arogya Yojana, okay, in the year 2008, by the then government led by the great and late Manmohan Singh ji, okay, launched what? Launched the Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana. Okay, so it was subsumed, and the next one, that is the Jan Arogya Yojana, was created, which is now the largest health assurance scheme of this globe, covering 55 crores of the Indian population. Okay, everyone, so that's it from my side today. Thank you so much for watching, and yes, please do subscribe to our StudyIQ IS English channel. It's made for you only. Okay, just to serve your purpose of qualifying the civil services examination of UPSC. And apart from that, if you need to connect with me through my social media handles, so here we go. So over Instagram, you can just search my username, that is Praveen Mishra _2107. Or if you wish to connect with me over Telegram, so here it will be, that is study_with_Praveen. Okay, so wherever you want to connect, you can connect with me and let me know your doubts related to your academics, and I shall be responding as early as possible. Okay, everyone, so thank you so much for watching once again, and please do hit the like button as well in case you like the video, and see you soon in the next video. Good day, take care, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.